Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed.
Alrighty, we're going to do a lesson on cross sections of solid figures, different prisms and pyramids, and I'm going to actually keep this relatively short. I'll be honest with you, I'm not crazy about this lesson, but there is a pretty cool YouTube video that I do want to play, and I'll just embed that in this video. And you might actually enjoy this lesson a little bit because if you're able to, if you have the means and you have Play-Doh at home and maybe string or thread or dental floss, you can use this and you can play around with a little bit and experiment a little bit. So we're doing cross sections of prisms and pyramids and other geometric solids. So it says a cross section of a three-dimensional solid is the figure obtained when the solid is intersected or sliced by a plane. And a plane is like a flat surface, like a sheet of paper. Um, so like a wall, when you look at the wall, it's a flat plane. If you look at a tabletop, it's a flat plane. If you look at a piece of paper, it's a flat plane. So when you take either a piece of string or you take dental floss and you actually cut through your Play-Doh, that face or that side that gets exposed from you slicing it is a plane. So today you will investigate the shapes that can be created by slicing various types of solids. Okay, so this is you draw that's what you're going to be doing right there. You probably won't have this much um, Play-Doh, but if you have a small amount of Play-Doh that you can shape into a rectangular prism like box kind of a shape, what you're going to be doing is you are going to take that and you're going to slice it. You see those dashed lines there? And you can slice it straight down. You can slice it at an angle. You can take a corner and slice through the corner. You can do a lot of different slices. And your goal is to see how many of these different uh, polygons or shapes, two-dimensional shapes, can you create from creating a single slice, no carving with a knife to try and create an octagon or anything like that. It's got to be like straight through. So to demonstrate what this means to do these cross sections, I've enlisted the help of a YouTube video. Uh, and just go ahead and watch it. go. Better plug in. All right, I don't want to see the next video. Let's just close out of there and come back to our video. All right, so in order to do this, we're not gonna, I suppose you could play around with the, try and make cylinders and try and make the pyramid if you want to, but for this particular activity, we just do it with a rectangular prism. And your task is to see if you can find each one of these shapes. Remember, triangles, squares, rectangles, trapezoids, parallelograms. The pentagon has 5 sides, the hexagon has 6 sides, the octagon has 8 sides, and a circle is a circle. You know what that is. So pause the video. When you do this, every time you cut the cross section, you check and see what is that cross section. Like this one right here looks like at the angle, looks like it's starting to create like a trapezoid type of a shape there. But you know, once again, you can cut it vertically, horizontally, you can cut it at a 45-degree angle, you can cut off a corner, you can cut off 2 corners. You just be as creative as you want with your slices, okay? But after you do each one, you probably have to reconstruct your prism, your original rectangular prism. Go ahead and pause it. And then I am going to reveal all of these. And when you come back, you'll see which ones you can supposedly can create and which ones you can't. And if there were some that you couldn't find, see if you can figure out how to find it. Not that important whether you're able to find it or not. I think this is more of a fun year-end kind of hands-on activity than anything that's critically important for you to know in geometry. But you know, it's interesting stuff, and there's certainly videos on YouTube about it, and so other people have thought it was useful too. So go ahead and pause and do your exploration, and then come back. All right, welcome back. Well, these are all, everything that has yes next to it is a shape that you should have been able to create. I have a pretty good idea how to create most of them, but to be honest with you, the hexagon and the octagon, no, octagon you can't. The pentagon and the hexagon, I don't know how you would slice it to find that. And if any of you actually find it and figure it out, I'd love for you to take a picture of it and send it to me. And I'd love to look and see, and maybe you can show me where you cut it, how you cut it, and then what the end result is. And this, we're going to skip over that. All right, this particular problem we're not going to do because there are a lot of different answers, but it's basically, you know, create a pyramid to the best of your ability, and then cut some different faces in it, or cut some different slices in it, and see what different shapes that you can get. I think there's like 4 or 5 different shapes you can get out of this. And from the video, they did that. So I'm sure you could replicate some of the cross sections that they did on the video. I remember there being like a square that you could see, a trapezoid that you could find, and some triangles too, obviously, if you were to cut vertically. Okay, and then this last part, I'm going to skip over most of this. All I want you to do is copy down these 3 images, draw the pictures, and then determine what is the volume of each prism. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, it's going to be next Monday. Next Monday, we're going to do an activity where we learn about the official proper formula for finding the volume of any prism. But you can use formulas that you learned in 6th grade to find these, since they're all rectangular prisms. Let's see if you remember what those formulas are. So go ahead, copy down these images, write in the numbers. There's no unit of measurement, so you just call them units, cubic units, and see if you get the same answers that I got. See if you get the correct answers. All right, well, I'm assuming you just paused, you just drew these down, and you have figured out what their volumes are. What's the volume of this particular prism here? Well, this one you can literally count. The top layer has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the bottom layer has 6. So that means that there are a total of 12 cubic units here. What was that formula that you learned in 6th grade? When you find the volume, isn't that to take the length times the width times the height or the depth? And which one is the length and which one is the width? I don't know. But really, you just multiply all three numbers together. And what do you get when you take 72 times 6 or 54 times 8? You get 432 cubic units. And the same applies here. Which one is the length? Which one is the height? Which one is the width? Well, whatever. We're just going to multiply all three numbers together to get 24 cubic units. All right, so the video time was relatively short, but I'm sure you spent hours and hours having fun with your Play-Doh if you happen to have any in the house. If you didn't, I'm sorry you missed out on that. So what are you going to do? Okay, all right, take care. Good luck on your homework.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling